Ole Miss 30, Kentucky 23. Before we do that, tell our listeners how great Polar Bear services are.
Well, Polar Bear Service has been coming to my house for a very long time, and I always have such a great experience with Wes and the guys. It's between seasons, too. Things starting to cool off a little bit. Man, is it nice. Ran this morning. It was 60 degrees when I left the house. It was off the charts. Between seasons, you want to make sure your home comfort system is still working in top order and ready to make changes that are on the way. That's why you got to get a checkup from the experts at Polar Bear Services, whether it's system tune-up, duct cleaning, repair, new installation. They can also help you with all types of home electrical work like home generators, plumbing, and they're serving all over the great state of Alabama. So remember, if you have a problem with your electrical, plumbing, heater, air, just pick up the phone and call the Bear. It's 205-497-BEAR. That's 497-BEAR.
All right, so both quarterbacks go out of this game. Kentucky had opportunities in this game. I would tell you this, Greg, one of my bigger takeaways from this game continues to be that the Ole Miss defensive front is going to end up being okay. I think a lot of people thought there was going to be a liability for them and, it can't be close to last year. I didn't think it was going to be close. It still might not be exactly what it was a year ago, but
on the high end, no.
But there are multiple guys up there that are going to allow them to not get pushed around. I mean, Xavier Harris is Xavier Harris. Like guy's got like a 9-foot wingspan. I mean, he's just physically ridiculous. But they got a couple guys up front that are going to be a handful. I know Jamarius Brown they're really excited about. Will Eccles, I thought, did some really good things. 52, 96 is Brown. I thought they both looked better. And I'll say this, Uman Mielen looked a little bit better in this game than he's looked. I thought they did some really nice things with Perkins, kind of, as a spy, then out on the edge, kind of moving him around and letting him affect plays in different ways. But that was sort of my biggest takeaway here is like, all right, it wasn't just Georgia State last week. This front might actually be okay.
Well, I mean, I'll say this about Ole Miss's defensive line. Like, if you have one guy that can become a huge issue, then you always got to account for him. And what I liked in this game is how they moved him around. He played some on the end of the line of scrimmage, played some at defensive tackle, played some on the interior. Like, he showed a little more versatility than I thought he had. Like, how often do you see him in a head up to inside a tight end? And we got on that play, by the way, by a tight end that ended up being pretty good. But when do we ever see a guy that's 330 pounds, 6'8", at 7 technique? You don't see that very often. You know what I mean? So I think him being able to move around and handle that so that they can kind of roll the dice and play the odds. Hey, we'll line him up where we think the run is going, and now it talks you out of that run potentially every single time you snap it. So I think that's a good place to start. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And, you get this win with Austin Simmons going out of the game, kind of like a non-contact deal for him, right? That
he got rolled up on the left ankle. He was running to his left, got tackled.
And jumping,
yeah, kind of rolled up on it. I think he'll be fine, but it's something worth watching. Like, he actually got his ankle taped earlier in the game too. So that left ankle is something to watch, and it wouldn't normally be something that's a big deal. But he's a lefty. So that's his push-off leg. That's the leg that provides a lot of power. So if that left ankle lacks stability or if it's sore, it could have an effect on his accuracy, and it could have an effect on his arm strength. That's just the way it goes. So with right-handed quarterback, right ankle is a problem. Left-handed quarterback, left ankle is a problem.
All right, so the other things here with Ole Miss is like, I mean, I told you coming out of week one, Kejuan Lacey's a dude, and I think you're now on board with that. Like, he's going to give them something different. He got going. It took a while, but he got going in this game. The receivers can make plays. Harrison Wallace is big time. I like how they use Deuce Alexander, doing some different things with him, lining him up in the backfield, handing him the ball, doing different things. They've done that stuff before, but I thought as the game went on, Charlie Wise Jr. formationing and personnel grouping guys in different places more so, that's what sort of allowed the run game to get going. And I think that's kind of who they're going to have to be, because the offensive line's just not going to push people around.
No.
The offensive line's going to be average. They're going to have to move, and they're going to have to formation you and do some different things, because when they started to crack and get the toss sweeps going later in the game with different receiver alignment, that's when I thought the run game really started going.
Well, and if that's, if the perimeter run game is going to be where they have to live, they're going to have to evolve into that. The one thing with Keelan Lacey that I did not realize, he's a little longer than you realize. He's a little higher hipped than I realized. Like he's kind of a galloper. Like he's got some slasher techniques, but he's a bit of a galloper. Like he's a guy that can really thrive in the perimeter run game. Now I think he can still get up inside, but I think this team traditionally with their RPO, marrying up their RPO, has been inside zone. Inside zone, split zone, running it up inside to kind of pinch those backers to allow more room to the outside to throw their hitch RPOs, their isolation RPOs. I think this could adjust who they become this year, where you have more pullers, you have more pin and pull techniques. I think that's where they're heading. I don't know that yet. The coaching staff did not tell me that. That's just my own assessment of where I think they're best running the football.
Yeah. Some of that stuff was going for him too. All right, with Kentucky, though. I think Jamori Macklin can be a playmaker.
Yes.
Hardly Gilmore can help. Kendrick Law, they're moving him around, doing some different things with him. He actually looked a little lighter on film. I don't know if he is like faster, more twitchier, but he looked a little bit lighter. And Seth McGowan can be solid at tailback. I don't know what the situation is going to be. Yeah, I don't know what the situation is going to be with Calzada. And the offensive line still just, man, too many breakdowns. Like I thought the gap scheme runs were fine. They had a little bit going there. But I just don't know if consistently they're going to be able to run the ball the way that they want to. They found some in this game. And Calzada, just the inconsistencies are going to hurt him. I don't know if Cutter Boley can come in and be a guy that's going to help him win a ton of games. What did you leave thinking about Kentucky?
That they're going to be just a pain in the butt to play. They're going to be a physical team. They want to punch you in the face. I think their identity runs through their running backs. I like how they're utilizing Kevin Barbay is there as an analyst. He was formerly of Mississippi State, formerly of Appalachian State. I saw some of his influence with the run game. A little bit more on the edges than what we've seen in the past. A little bit more off tackle than we've seen in the past. That, I think, will be advantageous for him. I thought their offensive line actually played pretty well. Considering where they've been the last couple years, I think the offensive line has taken a step. Are they ever going to be a dominant group? Probably not. I just don't know if their personnel will allow them to be. But I am encouraged by what I saw in that group collectively with where they could go. And I am encouraged with what I saw from some of the pieces in the run game. Now, I think their tight ends are fine. I think they actually have a decent blocking tight end in 87. I like him as kind of a tone setter. I think their wideouts are fine. I think Kendrick Law is just a limited wide receiver. I think he's a great player with the ball in his hands, but he's not really a route runner. He's not really a traditional wideout. So they're going to manufacture touches for him, but he's probably their best guy as far as just getting them the ball, letting them do some things with it. So I think there's things to grow from with Kentucky in this game. Like I think they're going to be okay. They're just going to have to be opportunistic, and I want to see play calling. Just felt like some of the drives, if they were not successful on first down, they didn't have a chance. They have to be a team that's successful on 1st and 10, and they got to mix it up on 1st and 10 as well.
Defensively, I mean, it's easy to like a couple of guys that they have. I thought Humphrey Grace, 90, did some good things up front defensively. We talked last week about Sam Green, number 2, and Steven Souls, number 35. I think Jordan Lovett coming down from safety, he's going to help you make plays. Afari's great at linebacker because he's just so active. I mean, for the most part, they tackled well. There were just a couple that got away from them late. But they had so much of the quick stuff and like so many one-on-ones with receivers. It's a matter of time before you let one slip by. And next thing you know, it's 55 yards. But I felt pretty good about that group watching them against this Ole Miss offense. It's just a couple of big plays. I mean, you took the ball away twice, but you get beat over the top once. You miss a tackle out on the perimeter. Then all of a sudden you lose contain once or twice in the run game, and there go the big plays that end up being the difference in the game.
Yeah, I think Kentucky knows who they are defensively. Like I think they're going to be okay. I do. I'm not 100% convinced that group will be super, super high end defensively, but I think they're going to be solid. You know what I mean? Like really solid, like middle to top half of the league. Bend, don't break. I like what they have up front with 60. I like what they have up front with 90. I think they're a little twitchier than they've been in the past. which should allow them to match up a little better against teams that want to spread you out. And I think that's a good place to start. I think they actually are pretty good. I like Kentucky. I came out of this thinking, all right, Kentucky's going to win a couple games this year that you wouldn't think from a talent profile standpoint they will. Now, the offense has to be better, but I like their defense.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's any doubt about it. All right, we'll get to a break. Come back on the other side and give you a bad box score of the day unlike any you've ever seen. And that's not hype. It's not hyperbole. It's real. Next on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Each and every day, we try to bring you a bad box score of the day, let you know the best of the worst. Now, we know the best of the best, obviously, and that would be Andrews Sports Medicine. There's a reason Auburn Athletics hand-selected Andrews Sports Medicine's Dr. Benton Emblem and Dr. Charles Pitts as serves their team physicians. They provide the highest quality of sports medicine care in an effort to keep the Tiger student-athletes safe, healthy, and competing at the highest level. If Andrews Sports Medicine is the choice for Auburn Athletics, there's no doubt they should be your family's number one choice for sports medicine and orthopedic care. Andrews Sports Medicine, 7 locations across Alabama, from Birmingham, Coleman, Gardendale, Hoover, Pelham, and Trussville. They offer same-day, next-day appointments for acute sports injuries. Visit AndrewSportsMedicine.com today to begin your journey of achieving victory over injury. All right, let's get to our bad box scores of the day.
Personal foul. 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Intentional grounding, offense number 7. It's a 10-yard penalty. I'm talking to America here, excuse me.
That's the game.
Kind of qualified, but we're going to get it in either way. The Soldotna
Stars.
They took out the Eagle River
Wombats.
No.
Whiskeys.
No, they are.
That feels like a whiskey.
No, they're the Huskies.
They're the Wolves.
Okay.
44-27 over the weekend. So
Okay.
not
Closer.
to the extent that we need to spend a lot of time on it, but it's almost a double up. So we'll throw it in there. The real bad box score of the day comes from the state of Kansas. We don't often go high school football here, other than our chosen sons of Soldotna Stars. But we will go to Kansas 3A and 4A, by the way, high school football. Your defending 3A state champions in Kansas high school football would be the Andale High School
Antelopes.
No, they're the Wildcats.
Artichokes. They're in
I'm sorry?
farmland. Artichokes.
That does track.
No, not. I don't think we can allow that. The Andale Indians.
Oh,
Okay. Well, that tracks too.
very,
They
very
just snuck past the 4A. Remember, I said Andale reigning 3A champions. They just snuck past the 4A El Dorado High School.
Oh, they're the Wranglers.
They're not.
Conquistadors.
The
No.
Wranglers with like an AH.
AHZ.
They are the Wildcats.
Wow, they're the Wildcats.
Oh,
Okay.
And the Indians scalped the Wildcats 104-0.
I'm sorry, what?
Excuse me?
One team had 0 and the other team scored 104.
They got Chamberlain?
104 to 0.
Defending state champions.
Won the game 104-0. Yeah.
Was it a game if it was 104-0?
They played it. It was 40-0 at the end of the first, 80-0 at the half.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. So he stinks.
Which does tell us that Andale's head coach, not a good coach, because in the
Despite
state of
scoring-
Alabama,
Yeah, despite
104 points and shutting him out. It's a
he
bad
didn't
coach.
score more. Dylan Schmidt is their head coach's name. Your total offense, 417 to 68.
just 417 and 104 points. Like, okay.
Yeah, but they gave up 68 total.
Yeah.
Total yards.
Smothering defense.
Not
I imagine
points.
there were some turnovers in this game. I know there was one fumble recovery. I can't find the actual box score, but I've had to go off different articles. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a real thing. 104-0. I mean, at what point do you just start
Triple
taking these?
dig.
Yeah.
Maybe 40-0 after the end of the first.
After the first quarter, it's kind of let's see what we can do, guys.
All right, let me ask you this: what do you do if you're El Dorado's head coach and Coach Schmidt goes for 2 on all 13 of his point after attempts?
It's time to gridiron gang that thing. Just start fighting at that point. Call the game.
mean,
off.
you
It's
might-
only gonna
yeah.
get worse.
I mean, that's I don't. Maybe there's a reason for that. I don't know.
I think it's a little bad blood up there in Kansas. I mean, it was the border war, so I mean, something may have bled over. They got too much Kansas pride.
There's just something else happening here. I will bring up a historical note here that is applicable in this segment. I know you're probably thinking 104. That's got to be some kind of record, right?
It's an all-timer.
Wrong. 1927, Haven High School. I don't know that mascot.
They're the
Defeated Sylvia. Now, maybe part of this bad box score of the day, you had a whole team playing against an old lady.
One against
But-
one poet. Okay.
That is tough.
That score was 256-0.
Excuse me?
One team had 0, the other had 256.
How many yards per play?
I don't know, but they had 38 touchdowns in a game.
Did they spread the love? Were they running it up?
I don't have the box score from the 1927 Wichita Times, but yeah, that's a real score, 256-0.
They was watching some of that old Swanee film from 1899.
They were lunching them.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of lunching going on in that game.
Looks like it was the other way around. Swanee couldn't even put up 256.
Oh my gosh.
So the Indians were 13-0 last season, looking to repeat as state champions. So, also keep in mind, prior to going 10-2 in 2024, Andale won 57 straight games and 4 straight state titles.
Wow. Let's talk about breaking.
57.
I think what we have found here is the Soldotna of Kansas is what we have found.
That's definitely it.
Yeah.
I like to see that matchup.
We'll start checking Andale scores every week now.
The contiguous
Apparently-
Soldotna. Okay, got it.
This is the way this one's going to go. I'm still not go over the fact that a high school team won 256-0, even though it was 1927. All right, we're back tomorrow. 3-man front up next.